Today I'm going to talk to you about Spanish pronunciation and all the rules that you need to know in order to read Spanish properly. When you first start learning a language, the first thing that you need to do is you need to really learn the rules, the pronunciation rules. For a couple of reasons. The obvious one is obviously that you want people to understand you, but the next not so obvious reason is that unless you know how to read a foreign language correctly, you will not be able to be an independent student. So you're aiming for independence when you learn anything, in this case obviously foreign languages. So let's start. So the PowerPoint is called Spanish Pronunciation for Kids. Having said so, this is not just for kids, this is for anybody who is interested in learning Spanish. And here we have Pronunciación Española para Niños. At the end of the lesson, because this is a lesson, this will be your challenge to read this correctly according to the rules that I have explained to you. Mi familia no es muy grande. Somos solo 4 personas. Mi padre, mi madre, mi hermana y yo. También tenemos un perro. Yo soy mayor que mi hermana, pero ella es más alta. Yo tengo 12 años y ella 11. Mis padres se llaman Javier y María. Mi hermana se llama Sara y yo Luis. Vivimos todos juntos en una casa muy bonita. So, let's go back. You can see that Spanish is what you call a phonetic language, which means it's a language that more or less is pronounced as it is written. English is not phonetic because very often it's written in one way and pronounced in another. So from that point of view, Spanish pronunciation is very easy. Whenever you start learning a language, the first port of call needs to be the vowels. Okay. So the Spanish vowels, however, are very easy. And there are only 5. So in English, so that you understand, there's about 27 ways of pronouncing vowels. 27. In Spanish, we have 5. So phonetically, it's a very poor language, if you like, which suits the learner because you have to learn fewer pronunciation rules. So let's start with the vowels. The Spanish vowels are the same as the phonetic vowels in English. So when you first start reading, the alphabet that you're taught sounds like this: A, B, K, D, E, and so on. The Spanish vowels are exactly like in that alphabet. So we have A, apple; E, elephant; I, igloo; O, octopus; U, cushion; A, E, I, O, U; U, O, I, E, A. Notice that the Spanish vowels are really short. In other languages, vowels can be very long. Spanish, they're always short. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to stop the video and practice. So we have A, E, I, O, U; U, O, I, E, A. So I'll read out the words so that you understand. A, ideal, familia. E, ideal, this time focus on the E. Grande, madre. I, ideal, this time focus on the I. Familia. O, chocolate. U, uno, gusto. So this is really quite straightforward, isn't it? You just need to really concentrate. Make sure you don't get them mixed up with English pronunciation. There's something called, and all languages have it, diphthongs. All that means is two vowels put together in one single syllable. So do you understand what a syllable is? A syllable is a beat of voice. For instance, uno has got two syllables. Uno. Seis. One syllable. Yeah, it's one beat of voice. Dog. One syllable. Houses. Two syllables. So when you have two vowels put together into the same syllable, that's called a diphthong. Remember that words starting with di are always to do with the number 2, like dissect. Yeah, you cut in two. In this case, it just means two sounds in one syllable, two vowels. Okay, all you need to know is that the combination of these vowels doesn't influence the original pronunciation. The only thing that happens here is that you really need to concentrate to pronounce it right. So here we have I and A, that's ya. Galaxia. Gracias. Gloria. Okay, let's pick another one. Here, hoy. Zoila. That's the name of a girl. Hoy. Au. Paula. Auto. So essentially, all these diphthongs are exactly the same as what we've learned with A, E, I, O, U. You just simply need to practice, okay? So please stop this video and read these words, and I will read them out to you afterwards. Okay, so let's start with that one, with ye. Siete. Hielo. Next one. Io. Adiós. Biblioteca. Okay, then we have, actually going to make sure that, then we have wa. Juan. Suave. We. Nueve. Huevo. Wo. Cuota. Flor. Acuoso. Ay. Aire. Bailar. Ey. 6. 20. Zoila. Paula. Auto. Next one is fairly difficult to pronounce. Europa. Euro. Lourdes. Okay, so I'm hoping that you did really well, but know that this is where people struggle. Really focusing on how to pronounce it when they're all mixed up, if you like. Okay, so let's go to the next lot, to the next section. So the next section is about consonants. So what is a consonant? The consonant is all that letter that is not a vowel. So you've got 5 vowels, A, E, I, O, U, and anything that isn't a vowel is a consonant. Notice it's pronounced consonant, not consonant, as many children pronounce it, consonant. Okay, so the first two sections here, B, D, G, B, D, K, what you need to know is that they need to be pronounced in a very soft manner. Okay, so this word, in English you would pronounce it like this, bodega, whereas in Spanish you would say bodega, bodega, really, really soft. You need to make a big effort to soften your pronunciation from English to Spanish. The next one, petanca. In English you would automatically read it like this, petanca, whereas in Spanish it's petanca, not petanca, 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 really, really soft. Okay, so here I want to really underline the importance of soften those consonants. Let's talk about the D. Okay, so the Spanish D needs to be pronounced like your TH in the or although. Therefore, I need to see your tongue every time you pronounce the D. So, dedo, dedo, adios. Okay, this is important in Spanish, any country in the world. The. Okay, this is how you pronounce it. English speakers, they will often read it like this, dedo, dedo. No, it's not dedo, dedo. Okay, so when you see a D, the, tongue out. The H is very easy. You just don't pronounce it. Okay, don't pronounce the H. Spanish speakers often find it quite difficult to pronounce the ha. Yeah, your H. Ha. Therefore, some of them might say something like, my house is hot, okay? Because when you don't learn, certain pronunciation when you are a kid, sometimes it's really difficult to learn later. You will, however, not have much problem with Spanish because Spanish is really straightforward. Okay. Double L in Spanish is y, like yes. Okay, so we have maravilla, maravilloso, llama. Okay, so remember that when you see double L, it's a y. The next one, España, araña. Okay, when you have an N with a little line on top, it's pronounced like that, ñ, ñ. But like a cackling witch, so like that, ñ, ñ, ñ. Okay. Right, I think we're doing well so far. Okay, the Spanish R. Okay, so the Spanish R is one thing that some people struggle with. But I'm telling you that after 30 years of teaching, you can learn it. Okay, you can certainly learn it. If you practice. So it's quite important that you know that the Spanish R is pronounced with the tip of your tongue. So you place the tip of your tongue behind your teeth on the roof of your mouth, and then leave it there. Make sure it doesn't fall down. You leave it there. Breathe in and breathe out through that point of contact. Yeah. It will take time to learn, but you will end up learning it. So we have two types of R, a simple R. So remember that what simple really means is one of, yeah? Double means two of, so simple means one of. So one R. And then we have a double R, okay, which is the rolled R. And it goes like that. Árbol, that's a simple R or single R. Cuarto, árbol, cuarto. But then we have this other R, which is a lot stronger. It goes like that. Ratón, arriba, ruido. So you might be wondering, how do I know what R to write when? And the answer is, so in the middle of the word, if you have a single R, it will always be pronounced as a rda. If you have two R's inside the word, then it'll be a rrr. However, if the R is at the start of the word, it will also be a rolled R, yeah? Ratón, ruido. Okay. Bien. Okay, let's talk about the S. So in Spanish, there's only one S, just, in the same way as there's only one E, one E. It's really always the same pronunciation. And it's a sharp S. Serpiente. I think it's to do with the fact that the S looks a little bit like a serpent or like a snake, yeah? Serpiente, sharp. Then we have the Y. Okay, so the Y can work as a consonant or as a vowel. Can you see how useful it's already, coming in, knowing what the difference is between consonants and vowels? You have exactly the same situation in English. If the Y is before a vowel, then it works like a consonant, like yes. In Spanish, playa, okay? But if the vowel is not, if Y is not before a vowel, okay, then it's pronounced like an I. So, story, oi, ai, okay? So be careful because this will be a Y before a vowel and otherwise it's an I. But that's the same in English, so you shouldn't struggle with that. The Z in Spanish is a th. So again, get your tongue out. Like thumb, okay? The good thing is you do have the same sound in English. And same with the D, you do have the same sound in English, the and the th, yeah? Which means that there's absolutely no excuse for English speakers not to pronounce these two consonants to perfection. So here we go. Zorro, zorro, tho. Notice we have two O's, and with Spanish being a phonetic language, you read each O. Zumo, okay, so th. Something else, a word of warning, that, it is fairly important that you know that it's only in Europe that you pronounce the Z like a th. In the rest of the Spanish-speaking countries, which is the majority, that sound has got lost, yeah? So they don't have the th has turned into a s. The spelling is still the same in every case, in every country, but not the pronunciation. So I would advise that you copy the European pronunciation simply because then you know how to spell it, yeah? Having said so, it's a case of you making a decision and sticking with that one accent, okay? So same with American English and British English. It's the same English, but with a slightly different pronunciation. So it would sound strange if you mix the two accents. You just have to stick with one, okay? Okay, so this seems to be the last section, okay? We have a section where, we have vowels and consonants put together. And this is important regarding spelling. So, the first line is a k sound. Notice ka, ke, ki, ko, ku. So we've got C, A, ka. But here we don't have a C, we have a Q. Ke, ka, ke, ki, back to C, ko, ku. If you think about that, it's the same in English, yeah? So the CE in English wouldn't be a hard C, it would be a soft C, yeah? So it would go centipede, yeah? So ka, ke, ki, ko, ku. Then we have the second line, okay, which is the th. Remember the Z is a th, okay? But if we have tha, so, su, we also need the and thi, don't we? Tha, the, thi, so, su. But notice that the the is not spelled with a Z, but with a C. The the is not spelled with a Z, okay, but with a C. Okay. Tha, the, thi, so, su. Okay. More things. The G, and that's a little bit like in English. So we've got ga, ge, gi, go, gu. But be careful that again, with the E and the I, the spelling is different, yeah? Re, re, you need to get a U in order to keep the G sound. Re, re. Okay, so we've got ka, ke, ki, ko, ku. Tha, the, thi, so, su, ga, ge, gi, go, gu. Okay, and now we go to the J. If you have a cat, you know that when a cat is very angry, it goes like that. And that's exactly how you pronounce this line, yeah? Cha, che, chi, cho, chu. Cha, che, chi, cho, chu. And notice the spelling. The cha has got a J, but the GE is spelled with a G. Yeah, so J, G, G, J, J. Like that. Okay, so if you think about it, it's the same in English. So you would have the G with an A, gate. The G with an E would be gentle, yeah, and so on. So it's the same spelling rule in English. Also, as a point of interest, in Spanish, when you laugh, or Spaniards, when they laugh, they don't laugh with a ha, like you do in English. You go ha 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 ha, don't you? Whereas in Spanish, people laugh like this, ha 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 ha, okay, with a h sound. This last line is a lot less usual. Can you see you have the U with 2 dots on top? When that happens, you do pronounce the U. So here, notice ge, ge. Here this U is silent. But when the U has got 2 dots on top, then you read the U. I always think that they're like 2 eyes that are open. Therefore, you do pronounce them. So, gue, gui, gue, gui. Okay, so here we go. Bilingüe, bilingüe. Jaula, gente. Gato, guiso, Guernica. Ceniza, 5. So here we have a th and here a k. Casa, queso, quinto, coco. Stop the video and please practice challenge 1. Right, I'm hoping that you've managed to read this little text, these syllables that I've written down here. And it goes like that. Ka, fe, fi, ko, ku. Fa, so, su. Ga, je, ji, go, gu. Ja, jo, ju. Re, ri. Ke, ki. Right. So stop the video again and read the next few words. Great. So I'm hoping that you've had a really good go at reading these. And it goes like that. Idea. Lección, lección. Imaginación. Paracetamol. Araña. Zurdo, zurdo, zurdo. Guerrilla. Dedo, dedo. Hipopótamo. Murciélago. Cigüeña. Pingüino. How did you do? You will probably have to watch this video a couple of times before you feel totally confident, okay? But by the time you've watched this video 127 times, you'll know it, I'm sure. Right, so please stop the video and read the long text, and then you double check with how I read it. Right, hoping that you're back. Mi familia no es muy grande. Somos solo 4 personas. So notice how soft. Mi padre, mi madre, y mi hermana y yo. So here we have a vowel and here we have a consonant. También tenemos un perro. Yo soy mayor que mi hermana, pero ella es más alta. Yo tengo 12 años y ella 11. Mis padres se llaman Javier y María. Mi hermana se llama Sara y yo Luis. Vivimos todos juntos en una casa muy bonita. So, I encourage you to really work on your pronunciation. Bye, adiós.